Welcome back, guys, or if you're new to my channel, this is Automotive Anonymous. That's the 2025 Subaru Legacy, but more specifically, this is a Touring XT, so it's the Apex Legacy. It has Napa brown leather interior, it has a powerful turbo 4-cylinder under the hood, and it might just be the best Subaru sleeper sedan for $38,000 that you can buy, or the best sleeper sedan at that price point, period, across all the automakers. But unfortunately, it's going away. So today's video is going to be less of a formal review and more of a funeral for the Subaru Legacy, a vehicle that's been around for over 35 years, a vehicle that is in the end of its 7th generation, which it came out back in 1989. It's been around for a long time, kind of like Grandpa. It's always been steady, stable, and in the background of everything you do, it's been around down the street, at the car park, at the dealership, wherever you need it to be, it's going to be there. But this is no longer around because we have not been buying these, because for 2024 their sales number dropped down all the way to under 20,000 units. Subaru has timed that it's time to medically euthanize the Subaru Legacy, and it's going away for good. We didn't appreciate it while it was here. It hasn't hit peak sales numbers since 2016, and I'm extremely sad to see it go away. So if you guys get anything out of this video, please consider liking it. Comment your thoughts and opinions below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Otherwise, let's get right into this funeral proceeding for the Subaru Legacy, one of the best sleeper sedans ever built. And I think just like most farewell proceedings or celebrations of life, you're not going to talk a whole lot about their accomplishments. You're going to talk about how they made you feel, what you're going to miss the most about them, and why you wish they are still around. The Legacy, I've been driving these for a couple years. I used to own an Outback Wilderness, which this is the foundation. This is the grandfather to the Outback Wilderness and to the Outbacks in general. And it's seriously amazing what these have to offer. The front half is completely Subaru Outback, but you don't have the black plastic cladding. You have the sport mode, basically, that this offers. You can actually get a sport trim level, but this is the Touring XT, so it has all the same safety features that you'd expect. It's a top safety pick. It has really bright LED headlights. But what does this have that differentiates it between this and other sedans? It has a front-facing camera. It has a rear-wheel drive engine setup with a serpentine belt up front. It has a mechanical all-wheel drive system. It has a whole lot of creature comforts. When we come around to the interior, you have proximity key features. You have huge windows with very thin A and B pillars. You have a sunroof, nothing really super impressive about that. But the door panels, front and rear, they open huge, unlike a lot of vehicles, so you can easily get your pets in here. You can easily get people in here. Carriers for children. You can do so many things with this. It has a huge back seat. If I sit behind myself at 5'11", look at how much room I have in this mid-size sedan. I have vents, heated seats, Napa brown leather interior. I have a cutout for my head in the roof liner, steady armrest, good visibility all around. This is a fantastic vehicle. This front half, again, this is all Subaru Outback. So the fact that you get all of this in a sedan and it's less than $40,000, to me is just insane, the value that you get. You also have Harman Kardon speakers. You have thigh bolstering. You have a heated steering wheel, heated seats, paddle shifters on the back of the leather-wrapped wheel, driver mitigation system, another safety feature that personally I could live without one. But you have a compass. You have auto garage door openers. You have the giant touchscreen. It looks fancier than it is, but each year it does get more refined. You have storage above the glove box and transmission tunnel storage. You also have a lock on the glove box, if you guys can see that down there, and you have a 12-volt hidden in the back. This sedan offers a whole lot more than most other vehicles. Sure, the camera clarity, it looks like it was filmed with a potato camera. Same with the backup camera. But hey, trajectory lines do move. Not all vehicles do that. So for 2025, this vehicle has really had a lot of upgrades. You even have a 2-stage center console. You can get remote start on this. You have a CD player hidden in here. Sunglass holder on a sedan. That's not super common all the time. It really just offers so much. And whenever I sit in here, there are just so many things that I'm going to miss about this platform. This is basically the price of a Subaru WRX these days. I like the WRX, but this is a much quieter, much more comfy, soft ride. I've driven my Outback over 800 miles in a day. These seats are comfortable. Subaru seats are fantastic. The backpack really agrees. Man, this is a good sedan, and I am really sad that this is going to be gone out of production in just a few short months. I also love that you still have a Harman Kardon subwoofer back here on the shelf, and then about 15 cubic feet of trunk room. So you have a pretty big trunk for being a midsize. Should have a temporary spare tire under here, and it does, has the jack, all the tools, everything. It's well insulated, well designed, has all-weather mats, even on the back of the seats. Subaru has really put a lot of effort into this, especially at the price point. And I love functional hood scoops. I love wings, and I love front splitters and all that fun stuff. But this, unlike the sport trim level of the Legacy, it doesn't even have the red line accent on the grille. This thing is a total sleeper. It just looks like a big Subaru Impreza, and it basically is, but it is so much more than that. It is so comfortable, and it's just so cool to see all of the Outback's higher-end features, the features that are competitive with other crossovers. Basically, the biggest market or car market platform is the crossover competition right now. They sell a lot of units, millions and millions every single year. Some of them are the best-selling vehicles, like the RAV4 for 2024 was the best-selling vehicle in the world. So it's competitive. But this sedan, this having all the same features from the Outback that competes against things like the RAV4, like the Tucson, like the CRV, like all those other global competitors, it's just fantastic what this has that other sedans don't, especially in a world where sedans are disappearing. They're not as profitable for the automakers, for the legacy automakers. And while Subaru started with vehicles like this, and they are cutting it because we just decided we're not going to buy it, they still didn't stop improving it. Even over this last generation, they went from 2020 selling, 50, 60,000 units all the way to a dwindled down 20,000. Basically, this whole generation of Subaru Legacy sold about as many units as maybe a year and a half worth of Outbacks. But they still offered it. They didn't cut it short. They didn't cut it out sooner like some other automakers might have. So at least for that, we can appreciate it. And if we take a look at the window sticker, it is a top safety pick plus. Even this one with the turbo, it's rated for 31 city, and this has the same size gas tank as the Outback, which is 18.5 gallons. So even with the turbo, this thing can go well over 500 miles. And if you have the non-turbo, you can go over 600 miles, which for a sedan that's not a hybrid, which isn't, kind of a pathetic powertrain, is actually fantastic. The fact that this can bust out really fast 0 to 60s. As I'll show you pretty soon in the driving impressions and 0 to 60 on GPS portion, it's just amazing what this thing can do while still having enough room to work on it under the hood. Again, serpentine belt is on the front. It's kind of like a rear-wheel drive setup. With mechanical all-wheel drive, you have the fuse boxes on the periphery, all the reservoirs, the battery, the top-mount oil filter. You have all that stuff. You can even see the block where it's split right there. It's easy to work on. Almost all the maintenance on this other than the spark plugs. And it's just a nice layout that's proven. Top-mount oil filter makes oil changes super easy. And it still has basically an internal hood scoop. Just not one that's going to catch a lot of attention by people that you don't want attention from. And while I might be a little bit extra sentimental because the Outback Wilderness I owned was the longest I kept any vehicle because it was so good. I kept it for over 3 years. It was completely flawless. It was a fantastic driving, extremely comfortable vehicle. And I like that a lot. I like that this reminds me exactly of that because this is exactly it. But what I also miss is my first vehicle. It was also a sedan. I supercharged it in high school. So I had a boosted 6-cylinder in high school. It ran for quite a while, but I like sedans too. So I am sentimental to fast, sleeper sedans. Vehicles that are a little bit unassuming, a little bit something that you might kind of sleep on and not expect to be as quick as it is. And sure, this isn't, a crazy 500-600 horsepower vehicle. You can modify them. A lot of aftermarket parts are now finally coming out for this 2.4-liter turbo platform, but it's just good. It's from the factory. It's fantastic. It's reliable. It can keep up with a lot of faster vehicles, especially at altitude where I am today. And I just love what this vehicle is all about. But with that said, let's take it on the road. We'll do a drive, then we'll do the 0 to 60. Initial driving impressions of the 2025 Subaru Legacy, the Touring XT. Let's get up to speed. This thing, especially from a roll, pulls so hard when the turbo's already partially spooled. Visibility, just like the Outback I used to own, it's fantastic. they and the B-pillar especially are not very wide, so you have a lot of window space, a lot of good visibility. Side mirrors do a great job. You can see right down the side, the rear view mirror as well, and I love seeing that little subwoofer in the back. This vehicle, for costing around $39,000 before tax and all that other silliness, it really offers a lot of stuff. Napa brown leather interior. The seats are actually comfortable. In my own Outback Wilderness, when I used to own it, I drove over 800 miles in a single day, and I was still comfortable. I could have driven further if I actually wanted to, which I was home, so I wasn't going to. But it's a nice vehicle. The infotainment screen, I don't love the 11.6 inches, but it gets better every single year. This one doesn't even have the wireless charger, so you won't even have to watch my video about how to pull the wireless charger out and replace it with this 3-piece basic tray. And overall, the safety features work really well. This is a top safety pick. It handles crazy good in crash tests. It's really protecting you and your family or whoever's riding with you. And the steering wheel, I do wish it got hotter. I've had the steering wheel heat on for probably 15 minutes now, and it's barely warm, which is kind of a big knock on this because I love heat. I love dry heat. The heated seats, they work okay, just like my Outback. I never thought they were fantastic. Nothing gets as hot as a Mazda heated seat. But this vehicle, with all of its safety features, with its good visibility, its large, mid-sized interior volume where you can actually fit comfortably if you are a full-size adult in the back seat, or child safety seats, or dog kennels, or anything you need. This is a pretty nice vehicle. And still having almost 6 inches of ground clearance, it's not an Outback, it's not a Wilderness. You're not going to be driving through a farm field, driving off-road, climbing up some hills, doing the same soft roading that you would do in one of those vehicles. This one is more tuned for the road, with the ability to go on gravel, the ability to go through some deep snow and mud with its symmetrical all-wheel drive system. I think it's going to surprise you what this can actually do for a sedan. Its only limitation is ground clearance. Sure, you could lift this. That would be a pretty fun thing. But if you want a luxurious sleeper sedan, something that rides better than a WRX, something that has a sophisticated automatic CVT transmission and you don't have to shift your own gears and deal with the less insulated interior causing more road and wind noise and your performance tires kicking up rocks, then this might be the sedan for you. But unfortunately, it's going away, and it's going away before we know it. When the new Outback comes out, these are going to be gone. This is the last year of the Subaru Legacy, and I'm really sad about that because this is a fantastic vehicle. And after 7 generations of driving, or not me driving them personally, but after 7 generations of the Legacy existing, living in the North American market, this is the best one ever. This one is going to be missed. And unfortunately, people, we are responsible. We are to blame because at only 20,000 units last year, that's kind of pathetic because this is such a good vehicle. It deserves at least 60,000 units. And I think if 60,000 people bought one of these each year, it might still exist. Anyways, let's get to the 0 to 60. 0 to 60 in the Turbo Touring XT Subaru Legacy. Density altitude's 3,500 feet, so it's probably down power 5 or 6%. Brake rev, let's see what it can do. And true 0 to 60 came in at 6.85 seconds on our first try. Not too bad for this sleeper sedan. So ultimately, guys, my final thoughts of the Subaru Legacy, because this might be the last time I drive one brand new. I never know when the last time I'll drive a vehicle is, so we have to assume that these are my final thoughts on this platform, as I'm really going to miss it. Like I've been ranting on this whole time, it is just such a good vehicle, especially this crystal white metallic paint color with brown leather seats, all the safety features, all the creature comforts, and an engine that has proven itself already to be extremely reliable because it's been out in the Ascent for like 7 years now, and they really haven't had very many issues. This is the best Subaru Legacy ever built. It's the most refined. It's the most practical. It doesn't have the ground clearance or the cargo capacity of the Outback sibling that is based off of it, the grandson, whatever you want to joke around and call it. But this is the best Legacy sedan. And in a world without very many sedans left, this one is just about the best. It's about as quick as anything under $40,000. It has the best all-wheel drive system under $40,000. And it's one that's not going to get a lot of attention, making it very much a sleeper. And with that said, I wish you guys the best. I hope you take care. If you get anything out of this video, please consider liking it. Comment your thoughts and opinions below. What do you think of the Subaru Legacy? Are you going to buy one before it's gone? Or are you going to let it fade away like we have been for the last couple years? I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, check out the Twin Falls Subaru. I'll link them below because they sell below MSRP. They ship all over the country. And with that said, see you guys.